97.9, 105.5, KISS FM. It's Big Poppa and Banna in the morning on the Lennon's Jewelers Hotline. WWE superstar, former IC champ, and tag team champ. He is Stardust. Stardust, good morning. How are you?
I am lovely. How are you?
I'm fantastic, man. Number one, Banna actually walked out. She gets annoyed with my wrestling dorkdom. Like that's my thing. So she's like, yeah, you go ahead and handle this. So it's just me hanging with you today. Congratulations for the is this your first time coming to the Odd Saturday, May 23rd?
It will be my first time coming to the Odd. It will be other superstars' first time coming to the Odd, and you never forget your first time. It's like Galileo. He was the very first insignificant little human being who looked up into space and saw the galaxy. That's what we're going to see.
You know what's funny? When I think of my first time, I think of Galileo too.
Absolutely.
No, I'm
absolutely.
Stardust on the Lennon's Jewelers Hotline. WWE live at the Utica Odd Saturday, May 23rd. It's the first time that WWE has been there in 8 years or so, which is fantastic. And it sounds like, if I'm right, looking at a cage match going on.
Oh, indeed, a cage match. Got to keep them in between the hot young upstart Roman Reigns and what I like to call Big Slow, Big Show, Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins, R-Truth versus Stardust Divas. It is a event worthy of the absence at the Odd. It's been a long time, and this is an event worthy.
Absolutely. For details and for tickets and the whole thing, you can go to WWE.com. Again, WWE.com. And of course, coming up this Sunday on pay-per-view, it's Payback. Now, do you think they're going to resolve the Intercontinental title thing with Daniel Bryan giving up his title because he can't compete anymore, says the doctors?
Well, here's the thing. If you look at the Intercontinental Championship and you look at this past WrestleMania, you've got to ask yourself, I'm sure you're asking yourself, you're probably sitting there asking yourself right now, Stardust.
Dude, you got to be in line for a shot.
In line.
Yeah.
For a shot at the Ivory Enterprise, the Intercontinental Championship, and I certainly hope so. It would be like a coronation at Payback. I mean, it would truly... It would be significant. You got to ask yourself, right? A neutron star, it's so dense that if you scoop out a spoonful of matter, it's going to weigh 200 billion pounds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I you know what I do. And remember how you said like the first time at the Odd, I'll never forget the first time with this interview with Stardust.
You never forget.
I never will. Stardust.
Papa never forget.
Stardust on the Lennon's Jewelers Hotline. WWE live at the Odd coming up a week from Saturday, and Payback this Sunday on pay-per-view, and of course the WWE Network. And I told you I was a huge dork from back in the day. Like I grew up watching Flair and watching Dusty Rhodes and Magnum TA and Nikita Koloff and Sting and all those guys. It's weird because I want to talk to you as Cody a little bit, but I realize that's not. Growing up in the business and being around it had to have been a really cool point of view, I would imagine.
I can look in. I can gaze upon the temporal rift, and I can answer questions about Cody's childhood. I know so much. In such a short amount of time, I know so much because most people, they imagine that Stardust is Cody Rhodes himself, that this dashing, muscular, mustachioed man wakes up, he emerges naked from his bed every morning, and he paints his face and he becomes Stardust, but that's not the case. We're two separate people, but I can still gaze into that temporal rift. I can still look upon what he has to say, and I can tell you. What questions do you have?
I'm just thinking, like, to myself, if, like, my son is a teenager right now, and he he gets to do really cool things that most teenagers don't get to do because I'm his dad and what my job is. And I'm just wondering, with Cody having his dad be the American dream, there has to have been a couple cool moments growing up in the business,
Well, I imagine that Cody was a spoiled little brat. I imagine that while other kids came to the event and had to stand outside the fire and had to watch from their seats like most and enjoy that way, that Cody had his little laminated backstage pass, his credentials, and that Cody was the one who turned the smoke on from Vader's mask.
You did not. That's awesome.
And that Cody was the one who was out there dancing in the street in Two Cold Scorpios music video. I mean, I imagine he was just a spoiled, entitled little, just everything.
That's fantastic. Stardust.
But knowing him, I think he appreciated it.
Absolutely. Stardust on the Lennon's Jewelers Hotline, WWE Live, coming to the Odd Saturday, May 23rd. You can follow him on Twitter at Stardust WWE, and of course, Payback this Sunday on pay-per-view. You definitely should be in line for an IC shot, especially after the ladder match. I'm actually surprised that you and Goldust didn't have a match at Mania.
I'm not. Is that something you want to see?
I felt like it was building toward it, and then okay, maybe not.
I have all the respect in the world for Goldust, but he's a man, and men get old. Goldust is almost 50 years old. I mean, if it's the chance between a match between the young and hungry of the WWE ascending a ladder for a shot at the Ivory Enterprise, or against some 50-year-old scrub Morlock Goldust, I'm going to take the money. I mean, Stardust is a material guy, right?
Absolutely.
Poppa, we're material boys.
Absolutely. Like it's like Madonna, but different.
It's like Madonna, but not that much different. We're material boys living in a material world.
Saturday, May 23rd at the Utica Odd. Stardust is on the line. Of course, WWE.com for tickets. All right, Stardust, this is something we do. This is called the Quick Six. 6 questions, 60 seconds. Let's everyone get to know a little bit more about Stardust. You ready?
Oh, my gosh. That's a lot of pressure.
All right, here we go. 2 shows on your DVR right now.
On my DVR?
Yep.
Scandal and Revenge.
Favorite toy as a child?
Voltron.
Oh my God, I loved Voltron. That's fantastic. That's the first time anybody's ever answered that. That's fantastic. You're at a convenience store. What are your go-to snacks?
My go-to at what store?
At a convenience store, because you're on the road all over the place. You stop at a convenience store. What are your go-to snacks?
Fruit snacks, assorted berry.
Nice. You're at the bar. What's your drink of choice?
Shirley Temple.
Favorite body part of the opposite sex?
Forehead.
Favorite opponent in the ring?
It would be Cody Rhodes.
That's what's up. Very cool. Stardust on the Lennon's Jewelers Hotline. You can follow him on Twitter at Stardust WWE. Of course, the WWE will be at the Utica Odd 1 week from tomorrow. WWE.com for all the details. And get the WWE Network, and you can watch Payback this Sunday. If not, get it up on pay-per-view. Stardust, thank you so much for the time, and we'll see you and the Cosmos coming up next weekend, all right?
Indeed. Shalom.
All right, man. Travel safe. Stardust, everybody. We're going to break, come back. It's Big Poppa Banna on KISS FM.